The key scraped in the lock like a fingernail on bone, and Mark's stomach lurched before the door even opened. He had rehearsed this moment for 3 days. Sarah's suitcase wheels rattling over the threshold, her laugh spilling into the hallway, the way she'd drop everything to kiss him hello. Instead, the house greeted him with the stale hush of a place that had forgotten how to breathe. He stepped inside and the silence pressed against his eardrums. The air smelled faintly of the lavender candle she burned when she was anxious. The wick had drowned itself hours ago. On the kitchen island lay her boarding pass, curled at the edges like a dead leaf. Miami. 3 nights. Girls' trip. Mark's pulse thudded in his throat. He told himself it was jet lag paranoia, the same itch that had made him check her phone locator at 2 a.m. while she slept beside him in Vegas last month. She'd laughed it off, called him her sweet, clingy caveman. He'd laughed too, because laughing was easier than admitting the itch had become a bruise. He set his laptop bag down and noticed the envelope propped against the fruit bowl. Heavy cream stock, his name in her looping cursive. His fingers trembled as he slid it open. Inside, a single Polaroid. Sarah on a hotel balcony at sunset, bikini the color of ripe mango, hair wild with salt and wind. Behind her, a man's arm tanned rope-veined curved around her waist. The hand splayed possessively across her stomach, thumb brushing the underside of her breast. The photo cut off at the wrist, but Mark knew that watch. Titanium scratched bezel. He'd helped pick it out for Jake's 30th birthday. The floor tilted. He gripped the counter, knuckles whitening. A sound escaped him, half laugh, half sob, that echoed off the subway tile like a stranger's voice. Upstairs, her suitcase lay open on the bed, clothes still fragrant with coconut sunscreen and something muskier. He knelt, hands hovering, afraid to touch. A silk camisole he'd never seen. A receipt from a South Beach bar. 2 espresso martinis, 1 oyster platter, $187. Tip, $50, signed with a heart. His phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Flight delayed. Home by 10. Miss you. The lie sat on the screen like a dare. Mark opened her laptop. The password was still their wedding date. iCloud photos synced automatically. He teased her about living in 2012. He clicked the Miami album. The first image stole his breath. Sarah and Jake on a catamaran, her legs draped over his lap, his mouth at her ear. The next. Her head thrown back in laughter, his hand sliding up her thigh beneath a picnic blanket. Then the hotel room, mirrors, champagne, her wedding ring glinting on the nightstand like a discarded coin. He scrolled until the screen blurred. There were videos. He didn't play them. He couldn't. The thumbnails were enough. Her silhouette against neon, Jake's shadow swallowing hers. Downstairs, the front door clicked. Mark. Her voice floated up, bright, practiced. Babe, you home early? He closed the laptop and stood in the bedroom doorway, Polaroid pinched between finger and thumb. Sarah appeared at the foot of the stairs, tan deepening the freckles across her nose, eyes wide with the performance of surprise. You're here. She started up, arms open. I missed. He held up the photo. Her step faltered. The suitcase handle slipped from her grip and thumped down 3 stairs. Mark. His name left her lips like a plea and a confession at once. He descended slowly, each footfall deliberate. 3 days, he said. You said 3 days with Lauren and Priya. She reached the landing close enough for him to smell the airport on her. Recycled air, duty-free perfume, guilt. It was supposed to be, she whispered. It started innocent. Drinks after the beach. I was lonely. You've been gone so much. The excuse landed between them like a slap. He'd been in Tokyo for 2 weeks closing the merger that paid for the house, the ring, the life she curated on Instagram. Lonely, he repeated. The word tasted metallic. Sarah's eyes filled. I stopped it. The last night I couldn't. I left the room. I swear. He flipped the Polaroid so she could see. This looks like stopping. Her sob cracked open. I was drunk. He was familiar. You and I, we've been drifting, Mark. You're always on your laptop, I'm always planning the next thing. I wanted to feel wanted. Wanted. The word knifed him. He thought of the mornings he brought her coffee in bed, the post-it notes on her steering wheel, the way he still traced the scar on her knee from their first hiking trip. Had none of it counted? He walked past her to the kitchen, opened the fridge, stared at the leftovers he'd saved for her return. Lasagna, her favorite. He pulled it out, let it slide from the container into the trash. The ceramic dish shattered. Sarah flinched. "Mark, please." She followed, voice trembling. "We can fix this." Counseling. "I'll delete everything." "I'll delete." He laughed, a raw sound. "You think deleting photos erases the fact that you let him touch you while wearing the ring I put on your finger?" She sank to the floor, knees buckling. "I hate myself," she said into the tile. "I hate what I did to us." He crouched, not to comfort but to look her in the eye. "I trusted you with every piece of me. 10 years, Sarah. 10 years of choosing you every single day. And you chose a long weekend of novelty over a lifetime." Tears carved clean paths through her bronzer. "I was scared," she said. "Scared we were becoming roommates. Scared the spark was gone." "The spark doesn't vanish," he said quietly. "It gets buried under complacency. But you don't dig it up with someone else. You dig with me." Silence stretched, thick as the humidity still clinging to her skin. Outside, a car alarm chirped. Inside, their marriage bled out on Italian marble. Mark stood. "I'll sleep in the guest room tonight. Tomorrow I'll call the lawyer." Sarah looked up, mascara smudged into bruises. "Don't," she begged. "Please. I'll do anything." He walked to the door, keys cold in his palm. "You already did." The lock clicked behind him, final as a heartbeat stopping. On the porch, the November air bit his cheeks. He stared at the jack-o'-lantern they'd carved together, its grin sagging into rot. Somewhere inside, Sarah's sobs rose and fell like waves against a shore that no longer existed. Mark got in his car, started the engine, and drove into the dark without a destination. The rearview mirror showed their house shrinking, windows glowing amber. A pretty cage he'd never suspected held a traitor. His chest ached with a pain too precise for tears. Each memory a splinter. Her laugh at their wedding, the way she hummed off-key in the shower, the future they'd sketched on napkins over breakfast. He pulled over beneath a street lamp, rested his forehead on the steering wheel, and let the first sob escape. Sounded like his own name.